Very lucky to have Mike today from DigiByte. Very excited to host him. He's going to be giving you a rundown of what DigiByte is and all the cool stuff that they're doing. So let's get a round of applause going for Mike.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening, and welcome. My name is Mike Aldy, and it truly is an honor to be with you here tonight, here at the University of Southern California. Well, look, do me a solid. Don't ever tell my wife I just said that, because she got her degree at that school on the other side of town, or in Westwood. I think you know the one I'm talking about. It is equally an honor to stand before you on behalf of the DigiByte Blockchain, the longest, strongest, fastest, most distributed and decentralized blockchain in existence today. I can't wait to tell you why I feel that way, but first I want to give you a little bit of background about myself, talk about who I am, what I do, and why I do what I do. I think it'll help give us a chance to touch upon a few topics that are important to the blockchain and crypto space today, as well as give you an opportunity to better discern and digest the information that I'm going to present to you tonight. Now, I must say I'm so very proud of all of you for being here, because it shows me that you're not morons like I was when I was your age. I was a couple years out of high school, and I was still trying to figure out who I wanted to be, what I wanted to do. And I was over at a friend's house, and he had a computer set up in a corner of his living room. I was checking out. I was like, hey, man, what you got going on over there? He tells me that's an internet browser called Netscape. I'm like, okay. And so he's telling me all about the World Wide Web, and I'm watching the screen, and he's trying to download this image, and it's taking forever. It's blurry. It's pixelated. It freezes up. He has to reboot his modem. It was like a 96K back in those days, not exactly streaming quality. After a while, I was like, look, man, I want to head to the store and get myself a 12-pack of beer and go home. Why don't you give me a call sometime next week when your JPEG is done downloading? Who knows? It could have been the very first cat meme of the internet, and I missed out on it. And I'm afraid I missed out on a lot of opportunities based on my resistance to computers. I just really didn't care much for it. Even though I grew up with the Commodore 64 in our home, unless the application or the program involved one of these, I resisted it like it was the plague. Now, eventually I did find my way, find my calling, and I decided to pursue a career in the entertainment industry, which brought me out here to Los Angeles. Got my degree at Loyola Marymount University, go Lions. About a year after that, I began my career in post-production at 20th Century Fox Studios. Now, 20th Century Fox is a pretty cool place to work. As soon as you pull in the lot, here's Stage 21. It's got the iconic lightsaber duel from The Empire Strikes Back, one of the films that inspired me to pursue the career in which I did. Right behind that is Fox Plaza, better known as the Nakatomi Tower from the film Die Hard, one of the best action thrillers ever made. Now, of course, 20th Century Fox Studios has a rich history behind it, but it's been in the news a lot lately, most notably because of its recent acquisition by the Disney Corporation. Now, we talk a lot about decentralization within the blockchain and crypto space and how important it is, but it's important in other aspects of our lives as well, including the media. Because, as you may know, that there are only 6 corporations that control all of the media that we consume. Now, there are only 5. So decentralization is a big deal. Now, not all hope is lost. You see, I've been left behind with what will become known as New Fox, which consists of the Fox News Channel, which I have absolutely nothing to do with, Fox Sports here in LA, which I have very little to do with, and Fox Broadcasting Company, which I have everything to do with because I'm an assistant editor and media manager in the on-air promos department for primetime entertainment. Now, our responsibility is to create content that promotes the network and the network shows. I'll give you an example of what that looks like right here.
Fox Sunday, no one beats a lie.
Ooh, her first words.
Halloween's never been so creepy.
Tammy, are you wearing a diaper?
It's called committing to the role.
So if you want tricks
Yeah, let's learn some tricks.
Dude, don't say that.
and deadly treats,
I want to burn to death. I want to die in my sleep butt naked.
there's only one place to see it all first.
Are you too scared?
All new this Sunday on Fox.
And there you have it. That is what a promo is. Now, here's a look at my desk. I know Hollywood never looked so sexy, right? But I want you to take note of all the computers that are at my workstation. In fact, I have so many computers, I have to turn 2 of my monitors sideways just to get them to fit. If we look to the right here, I have a wall of memes. That's right, memes are not just for the internet. I use them as a silly way for me to cope with my day-to-day life at Fox. Let's take a look at one here. This is my first and favorite here. This is what I call producer cat. He's asking me to explain why their media is offline. Media offline is just a technical term in post-production. It means that the clip is not syncing to the media, the file behind it. Sometimes it's an easy fix, you just have to relink it. Sometimes it's not an easy fix because I deleted the media, in which case the facial expression of producer cat remained unchanged. We'll come back to producer cat in just a minute. Let's take a step out. Of course, I got a couple of obligatory Office Space memes here. Lundberg asking for a 1080p QuickTime under 1 meg, never going to happen. Yeah, if you just stop crashing, that would be great. Yes, it would. But the one meme I really want to spend most time on is this one here in the upper left. Ho ho ho! Yeah, check out this asshole, right? Look at him. All that hair, natural curls, not a spot of gray. What a dick. You know, I bet he got a lot of attention from the women with that hair like that. And I'm also willing to bet he knew as much about women as he did about computers. But here he is asking the question, do I look like I know what your password is? So within this meme, we have two topics that are prevalent to the blockchain space, one of adoption and the other of cybersecurity. Do I look like I know what your password is? The better question is, should I know what your password is? Of course, the answer is no. I shouldn't know what your password is. No one should ever know what your password is because your password are the keys to your digital kingdom, your digital self, your online identity. Now, we're going to talk a lot about cybersecurity in a few minutes, but let's go back to adoption. So, do I look like I know what your password is? Obviously, he does not, because this is the same jackass who chose, by his own volition, to go pick up a 12-pack of beer over learning more about the internet when it was in its infancy. But the assistant editor who works at Fox Promos today and is surrounded by so many computers, he is amazed he was capable of fathering a third child due to all the electromagnetic radiation his body likely absorbs on a daily basis. He would know what that password is because that was a question he was often asked by Producer Cat. Because at this time, Fox had recently adopted a file-based workflow over a tape-based workflow. So Producer Cat was coming to the assistant editor asking, hey, I don't know what my password is to this new system that they're being forced to adopt. So in the past, they'd always just pop a tape into a machine, press play, take notes, hand the script to the editor, and come back a few hours later and say, show me what you got. And the editor did all the technical stuff. Well, now Producer Cat is being expected to know the same system that the editors do. And they need to know how to do editing themselves. So you see, adoption happens. Adoption is happening, and it happens regardless. Either you adopt the emerging technology that's being thrust upon you, or you adopt a new profession, a new line of work. Unless maybe you're a year away from retirement and you're like, screw it, I'm not learning the new technology, I'm not going to learn a new job, I'm just going to retire early. So oftentimes, you know, in the blockchain space, you know, it can be challenging because we want to, you know, approach people and say, hey, are you into crypto, are you into blockchain? And a lot of times they say, no, man, it's not my jam. It doesn't have any value to me because it's not real. I can't hold it. I can't touch it. But what gives something value? Is gold valuable because it's gold? Well, no, gold is valuable because people want gold. They feel like they need gold. People give value to gold. And they're willing to do things to obtain it. So this notion that you can't hold something or touch something doesn't give it value is a fallacy. Because what about our ideas? Our ideas have value, right? Everything starts with an idea, but you can't hold an idea. What about our memories? Those are important. Your first kiss, your kids being born. Imagine spending your entire life with your soulmate. They wake up one morning, look you in the eye and ask, who are you? How much are those memories worth? And what about our time? Time is important. Our time is valuable. We don't want people to waste our time. And time is money. We've all heard that expression before, right? Is that true? Time is money? Let me tell you something, and take it from a guy who's probably twice your age. Your time is worth infinitely more than money. You can always go out and earn more money, but your time, you got to spend that wisely. So, and what about our data? You can't hold your data, your personal information, but that has value, right? You're damn right it does, and I found that out the hard way. A few years ago, I received this letter in the mail from my health insurance provider, Anthem Blue Cross. Now, I know a lot of you can't read that text from where you are, so I'm just going to paraphrase it for you. Basically, it says, dude, we got hacked. And all of our information's out there. But the joke's on you because so is yours. And your wife's and your kids. Yay! Your full names, dates of birth, social security numbers. It's just out there. And it's such a sickening feeling to have when this happens to you. You got to do something about it. And I had to do something about it, and I did. I called LifeLock. Now, I don't know if you guys remember him. He was all over the TV years ago. Couldn't wait to tell you what his social security number was. The point being that LifeLock was so good at what they do that he could literally broadcast his social security number to the world and nothing bad would happen. So I figured, well, they've been around for a while. They must be legit. They know what they're doing. So I called him and said, hey, I need your help. I need your help to protect my data. I said, well, yes, sir, we can help protect your data. We even have a premium package. Really? Well, shut up and take my money. So now I'm feeling good because I'm paying out the ass for LifeLock Premium. Some time goes by, and I'm not really thinking about it, which is what I want, peace of mind. How much is that worth? But then, a few months ago, I came across this headline. LifeLock bug exposes millions of customer email addresses. Okay, so it's only the emails, but think about it. You got a company like Anthem, who is supposed to keep our data safe. You got a company like LifeLock, whose singular purpose for existing is to keep our data safe, and neither one of them can, and neither can Target, neither can Facebook, neither can Uber, neither can the United States Department of Defense. Oh, and this one was a doozy. Remember Equifax, 143 million? Yeah, that's over half the adult population of the United States. But you know what I love most about this particular data breach? It happened 4 months before they announced it to everyone, right? That whole time, the executives at Equifax are selling stock because they knew the price would tank once the news broke, and it did, and deservedly so. But somehow, that was legal. So, yeah, good job, Equifax. So why? Why does this keep happening? Because they all rely on the same broken infrastructure which has plagued us for years. And this is why I'm such a huge fan of blockchain technology, and in particular, the DigiByte Blockchain. The DigiByte Blockchain is second to none when it comes to speed, security, decentralization, development, and community, with a laser-guided focus on cybersecurity, beginning with Digi-ID. Digi-ID utilizes blockchain technology to enable safe and secure website logins and identity authentication. You no longer need usernames or passwords. It is more secure than SMS verification and more secure than two-factor authentication, such as Google Authenticator. But don't take my word for it. Let's just ask Google. Oh, that's right. Even Google employees do not use Google Authenticator because Google agrees that there are better options out there, such as Digi-ID. Digi-ID comes fully integrated into your Digibyte wallet, which is free for download from the Google Play Store or Apple iOS App Store. It is free to use. You can have 0 Digibyte in your wallet, and you can use Digi-ID all day long. Digi-ID is a real-world working product, and I'm going to show you exactly how it works right now. There's an online privacy firm based out of Belgium called AntumID. Not Anthem Blue Cross, but AntumID. They recently integrated the DigiByte blockchain into their platform. Now, I've already created an account with their website. Now, I can go in and log in the old-fashioned way using a username and password, not as secure, or I can log in using Digi-ID. So if I just click on this button here, it presents a QR code. This QR code is unique and independent, and it can never be recycled or reused. For every website and every login, it creates a new QR code. Now I'm going to open up my Digibyte wallet, and all I have to do is tap on this little icon here at the bottom. It looks like a little thumbprint. This opens up the QR scanner connected to the camera of the device. All I have to do is scan the QR code. Now, the Digi-ID will ask me, do you want to log into AntumID? And I confirm this by either entering my 6-digit PIN or scanning my fingerprint. This is a Galaxy Note 8. It has the fingerprint scanner on the back. Also has a cracked screen on the front, if you didn't notice that. Now, this sends a message back to AntumID, and it automatically logs me into my account. No personal information was transmitted through this exchange. And not only is it more secure and safe, but it's more anonymous as well. So websites cannot track you or compile your information, your data, in order to sell to a third party, such as, say, Cambridge Analytica. So AntumID, they're doing a lot of amazing things with the Digibyte blockchain. I'm going to show you just a quick video here of some things that they're doing as well. If I can get my slide to work here. All right, let me just do this. All right, now I'm not a coder or a programmer, so to be honest, I'm not sure exactly what they're doing, but it's really neat that they're taking the technology and improving upon it and building upon it. So they're doing a lot of neat stuff with it, and you can check them out at AntumID.be. They're a Belgium company over in Europe. So in addition to identity authentication, you can also use the DigiByte blockchain for document verification, and this is what DigiSign does. DigiSign was a company that was spun off from the DigiByte blockchain last year when they were nominated for the City for Tech Integrity challenge for Citigroup, and they won as an honorable mention, and they used that award to create this company. So I don't know if you guys have ever had to deal with a notary. It's a really arduous and time-consuming process. Well, now with blockchain technology, you can verify documents within seconds. Now let's go back to this Target headline from USA Today, the data breach from January 10th, 2014. Because this date has a special significance with the DigiByte blockchain, because that is the date that the blockchain was born. And the founder of the DigiByte blockchain, Jared Tate, he etched that headline into the Genesis block, the very first block of the DigiByte blockchain. So that's how the chain works, right? Because each block contains a portion of the code of the block before it. But the Genesis block, there's nothing before it, so you pretty much just have to produce a filler code. And that's for that filler, this is what he put in. Because he knew the positive impact that blockchain technology would have on cybersecurity. Now, let's take a look at some of the things that makes DigiByte one of, if not the most secure blockchain in space today, starting with the mining. And let's compare it to some of the others out there, such as Bitcoin, of course the original and granddaddy of them all. Bitcoin is 100% SHA-256. Awesome. Let's look at Litecoin. Again, it was like DigiByte, it was a fork of Bitcoin, and it is 100% script. Now let's take a look at Digibyte. Ooh, a lot more color action going on in this pie chart, right? See, Digibyte has a total of 5 mining algorithms. It also has SHA-256, it has script, it also has Grossel, Skyne, and Qubit. So since it has 5 mining algorithms, it's more distributed, it's more decentralized. It's a more level playing field. So whether you've got a warehouse full of ASICs running 24/7, or maybe you've got a gaming rig up in your dorm, you each have equal opportunity to mine for Digibyte. Now, another issue that runs into that Bitcoin runs into is that it was recently reported that over 70% of Bitcoin mining occurs in China. Now, this can be a problem because even though Bitcoin is designed to be centralist, you know, if the Chinese government were ever to step in and say, we do not approve of Bitcoin, it would be very disruptive to the network. Of course, it would recover, but it could be down for weeks, perhaps. So, look, I got nothing against the Chinese, but obviously we know that the Chinese government is not known for their tolerance and openness. Now, maybe some of you are looking at this image, you're like, hey, dude, that was so long ago, I wasn't even born yet. It's been like 30 years, things can change. And I would say you are absolutely correct. A lot can change in a very short amount of time, change so much to render things completely unrecognizable. All right, let's look at some more coins here. We've got Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Gold, and Dogecoin. Everybody loves Doge, right? Much wow. There's actually about 20 to 25 coins in this list, and they all have at least one thing in common. They all use Digibyte code in their blockchains. You see, years ago, Digibyte plus all these other blockchains, were running into issues with what is known as difficulty adjustment. And difficulty adjustment is what regulates the timing of the blocks. And the adjustment, it changes depending on the hash power on the blockchain. So all these mining pools were coming onto the blockchains, run on the hash to mine, and they would just pack up and leave and move to another blockchain. Well, this created a lot of volatility on the network, not so much in price in terms of satoshis and dollars, but just in the ability for the blockchain to send and receive transactions and confirmations. So it's a real problem for the crypto space back then. So the Digibyte developers went to work and they developed a way to create real-time difficulty adjustment. So the other blockchains, they saw how effective this code was, and of course it's open source, it's free for everyone to use, they took it and they used it and they incorporated it into the blockchain. So now those blockchains have real-time difficulty adjustment as well. Now let's look at some of the development achievements over the few years with DigiByte. Again, DigiByte is almost 5 years old, which is a really long time for a blockchain. It's had a total of 7 forks over the years. It's got 4 hard forks and 3 soft forks. Now a lot of times we associate a fork with a new coin getting spun off. It's going to get pumped and dumped. But they never did that. They never created new coins. They just kept improving the existing technology. And the latest fork was last year. If you guys were familiar with the space, there was this thing called SegWit, or segregated witness. Well, DigiByte was the first major altcoin to incorporate SegWit into the blockchain. And it did it first before both Bitcoin and Litecoin. Now, another development that's in the works right now, they just had an announcement about this last week. I'm really excited about it. So we are proud to announce we're testing next generation of blockchain mining technology. Imagine a mining algorithm that recreates itself every 10 days. No ASIC could ever be created for it. So this is really groundbreaking stuff that the DigiByte developers are working on. And they should have this ready sometime next spring. I don't want to give a firm date because it's still being tested, but it's really exciting stuff. Some other exciting things that are going on with the development team with DigiByte is what is known as DigiCafe, or at digibytecafe.com. Because what this does, it allows point of sale access for vendors to allow people to pay with their DigiByte at retail outlets. And you can check it out, DigiByte Cafe. It's really neat stuff. So let's just do some more comparisons here with Bitcoin and Litecoin and DigiByte. Here's Bitcoin. It can do around 7 transactions per second. Creates a new block every 10 minutes, which is actually very good. When we're talking about exchanging value peer-to-peer, that is near instant compared to if you need to deal with the bank. I mean, we've all done online banking. It takes at least a day, maybe 2, and if there's a weekend or a holiday, it's going to take that much longer. But now with blockchain, with Bitcoin on the scene, it allows us to transact directly with each other almost instantly. Now it has block time, as I mentioned, 10 minutes. The transaction fees, this is from February, so I'm sure the fees have come down a little bit since then. But as mentioned, Bitcoin has a difficulty adjustment of every 2 weeks, as opposed to DigiByte, which is real time. And then Litecoin came along. It can do 56 transactions per second. Block time was reduced by a quarter. It has an 84 million max supply. So it has 4 times more max supply than Bitcoin. Again, they brought the transaction fees a lot lower and have 3 days of real-time difficulty adjustment. But let's look at DigiByte. It can currently handle 560 transactions per second and has a block time of 15 seconds, which is just crazy fast. And I'm going to show you how fast it is. I'm going to send some DigiByte from one wallet to another. So I'm going to open this up, and then this one here. I'm going to receive, just open up the QR code, and just going to scan it. And I'll hit send. And confirm the transaction. There it goes. Now it should, there it is, okay? That took what? A second and a half, 2 seconds maybe, and within 15 seconds, that transaction will show up on the blockchain, which is very important. We're going to talk more about that in just a minute. But as you can see, DigiByte does have a max supply of 21 billion. I know a lot of people look at that number and think, oh my God, that's huge. But if you consider the baseline, the point of reference is always Bitcoin, which is 21 million. But you think about global payments for day-to-day use for everybody in the world, 21 million just isn't enough. It's just not feasible. But 21 billion is more practical and realistic. As mentioned, it does have real-time difficulty adjustment, but also the transaction fees are just so small. It's not even worth doing the math. I mean, it's less than a penny. I mean, how many times have you stepped out of the car, you see a penny on the ground, you're like, I'm not going to pick that penny up. Who knows where it's been, it's filthy, I'm just going to ignore it. So the transaction fees are just crazy slow. Now here's an example of the transaction fees as well. So this individual wants to send 780,000 DigiByte, and it's only going to cost 0.000228806 DigiByte. Okay, that's, at today's rate, that's about $15,000. So imagine going into a bank and say, hey, I want to send $15,000 to anyone in the world and do it instantly and do it for a penny. Never going to happen. But now we have the ability to do that with blockchain technology. Here's some more comparisons with Western Union can do 30 transactions per second. PayPal can do 130 transactions per second. But as mentioned, Digibyte can currently do 560 transactions per second, but it is scaled. It is scaled to double every 2 years. So in about a year, it will be able to handle 2,000 transactions per second, which will be on par with Visa. And by the year 2035, it will be able to handle 200,000 transactions per second. Now, it's important to point out that all of these transactions occur on the blockchain. They're confirmed on the blockchain. There's no Lightning Network involved. I'm sure you guys are probably familiar with what Lightning Network is. And like I know I'm not here to hate on Bitcoin and Litecoin, right? I love them both. I hodl both of them. All UTXO blockchains are great. But there's one that's just better, and that's Digibyte. And it's not by just like one thing, right? It's better by a mile. Because with Lightning Network, you're decentralizing the blockchain. You're kind of just going backwards. And I commend their efforts. You know, they're trying to do something about the scalability issues that they both are encountering. But Digibyte does not have that same problem because they've already addressed the scalability issues. You guys recognize him? Yeah, CryptoKitties. It was a thing for about 5 minutes. It also choked the Ethereum network. Now imagine if you're an ICO or you've got a token that runs on the Ethereum network. That's a problem. If just something as silly as CryptoKitties comes along and you're unable to send transactions because the network is ground to a halt, well, Digibyte, you can do the same thing. You can build upon the Digibyte network the same you would with Ethereum, with Digi assets. You just take the network, you just take the blockchain, and you can build decentralized apps, centralized apps, and you can launch your ICOs on it. You can also do smart contracts on Digibyte as well. Digibyte is available on over 80 exchanges, and as I was telling someone earlier, it is supported on many major third-party wallets such as Exodus, Koinomi, Jax, and also Trezor and Ledger Nano. You guys familiar with this painting? Called Consummation of Empire, painted by the name of Thomas Cole. He was an American painter born in Great Britain, and this is the third of a 5-part series, which he named The Course of Empire. And the reason why I want to point this out is to lead into these next slides, because we've been very fortunate here in the United States, here in the West, most developed nations. We don't run into the same problems that a lot of people in the world have, but that doesn't mean that things will go on the way they were. So if you look at CPI purchasing power of the dollar, not seasonally adjusted, not that that matters, but it's an obvious downward trend for the past 10 years. Here's the debt to GDP for the United States as of June of this year, hovering just below 104%. And this is one of my favorites, purchasing power of the US dollar since the inception of the Federal Reserve. Here's a crazy thought. Did you know that a dollar used to be worth $1? Now it's worth about 4 cents. And I'd like you to see the parallels between this slide and the one right here. This is a slide, actually it shows all the deaths of Roman emperors towards the end of the Roman Empire. But all this black here, this is the amount of silver content in the denarius, the Roman currency. As you can see, originally it was almost completely full of silver. By the time at the end of the empire, it was next to nothing. They completely debased their currency, much like all other currencies that are in existence today. That's one thing that all fiat currencies share. In the end, they all fail, without exception. So, this is the fourth image of Thomas's work. This is called destruction. It's a very chilling image. And, I got my master's degree from the Precious Metals School of Doom and Gloom. And for the longest time, I didn't know what would happen. I mean, it's just, you look at the numbers, you look at how, the money printing, quantitative easing, and this was a likely outcome. And it's scary. And, no one has a crystal ball, no one knows what's going to happen, but this is what is so special about blockchain technology. is that it gives us a chance. It can be our life raft from the old dying system into the new system. So it gives us hope. Now, before I lead into my next segment, I do need to make a quick little disclaimer here. That is, I do not work for DigiByte. I am not employed by DigiByte. I do not get paid by DigiByte. But I am the CEO of DigiByte. How about that, huh? You guys just thought it was some lowly YouTuber here. No, I'm actually the CEO of DigiByte. That's pretty cool, huh? You think, well, how can that be? How can you be the CEO of DigiByte and not even be employed by them? Well, I'm the CEO. I'll be asking the questions. Thank you very much. No, but seriously, that's what open source marketing is all about. It's an open source blockchain. It's open source marketing. Anybody can be anything they want. Anybody can do anything they want. You don't need to ask for permission. You don't need to seek for approval. Now, I could literally go out into the world and introduce myself as the CEO of DigiByte. I could hand out business cards that say I'm the CEO of DigiByte. And people would feel impressed. They'd want to take selfies, post them online, and say, hey, check me out. I'm with the CEO of DigiByte. But it is the community that would keep someone like me in check. They would explain, no, he's not really CEO. There is no CEO because it's open source. You know, that's just crazy old Mike in California. He thinks he's the CEO of DigiByte. You guys went off and legalized your dispensaries, and he's probably puffing the wacky tobacco. And maybe I am, for my arthritis. But with the DigiByte community, we're just a global network of like-minded individuals who believe in what blockchain can do for the world, that it can improve everyone and everyone anywhere. We never had an ICO. We had essentially no pre-mine. They just launched the blockchain and it simply exists. You know, there's no company behind it. But it's just an amazing group of people. It's an amazing group of people to be involved with because they truly believe in helping people around the world. And that's been more evident than the work with Venezuela. As many of you may know, Venezuela is going through a really hard time with the hyperinflation that they're experiencing. It's created a lot of social unrest. The local currency, the bolivar, has been so trashed that it's not even effective as a means of exchange. It's not even a tool. It's not even a usable tool for commerce. But earlier this year, a YouTuber by the name of David Hay put the call out to the entire cryptocurrency community, said, we have a chance here to not only help these people who are in need, but also to introduce cryptocurrency for mass adoption. And DigiByte was one of the first blockchains that answered the call. And they did it in a big way. And this is where my involvement started with DigiByte, because I thought to myself, you know, I need to be involved. I need to do more than just, you know, trade and research ICOs. I want to be involved with this. So I asked myself, has anyone ever made a movie trailer for a blockchain? Is that even possible? Well, that's what we did with the video called Humanity Rises. And it was such a great experience, not only because it was, you know, I'm proud of the work that it was, but it just felt good to work on something that mattered. You know, I'm very blessed with a career. I'm very lucky, but at the end of the day, it's television, and it's just silly, and it's just a bunch of who gives a fuck, right? But to be able to work towards something that really matters, that really helps people, it's just an incredible feeling. And here's some video of kids actually using the DigiByte wallets in Venezuela.
Permiso, ¿qué hago ahí? ¿Coloco el pin?
El pin.
¿El que le metí el otro? No, sí, vete.
No, uno no.
Uno no.
Dile crear moneda. Y ahora tú creas su pin.
No puedo
Ahora
salir.
el pin.
Listo, profe. Ay, profe.
All right, so that's great stuff. And as you can see, they're using DigiByte wallets, and they're in Spanish. So the DigiByte wallet is available in like 50 languages. Now, as I wrap things up here, I just want to implore you to do whatever you can to get involved. And you already are getting involved because you're part of the Trojan Blockchain Society. So continue doing what you do. Have meetings and attend meetups. You know, we're really lucky to be here in Los Angeles where, I mean, it's like every week there's at least a couple of meetups locally where you can go and meet people and talk about blockchain and talk about crypto, and you can just have a blast. And it's great to be around people that believe in the same things that you do. So as I close up here, I want to mention that the DigiByte.io, that's our official website. You can go there and check that out for more information, more details about a lot of things I've touched upon tonight. You also have links to the mobile wallets and the core wallets. Also, hey, you guys dig this shirt here? Some cool threads, right? Go to cryptobantam.com. They've got all kinds of cool DigiByte gear there. They do allow you to pay with crypto. They even offer discounts for paying with crypto. And for certain shirts, a portion of the proceeds go to the Digibyte Awareness Team, which is at dgbyte.org. Again, it's just another group of people similar to myself who are passionate about the DigiByte blockchain, and they created this website. It has a lot of great information, a lot of news articles, a lot of updates, and they have what they call digitorials, so go ahead and check that out. And if you want to follow me, then you can on Twitter, DGBSoCal, and also you can reach me on Telegram, and I have a YouTube channel where you can watch the aforementioned Humanity Rises and also some other videos which I've done for the Digibyte community. So if you guys have any other questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them if you have any about Digibyte or blockchain in general. Oh, sure, yeah. There you go. Yes, sir.
First of all, great presentation, Mike.
Oh, thank you.
And my question to you, in your opinion, why do you think the cryptocurrency blockchain community is so slow with grasping on to Digibyte compared to Litecoin, Bitcoin, everyone?
Well, I think a lot of it is just visibility. Obviously, Bitcoin is the first, and that's what everyone knows. And then Litecoin came along before Digibyte. I think the fact that it was listed on Coinbase helped it out a lot. So
it's like that the results, what you stated is obvious that it's such a superior technology.
I agree, yes.
Seems like it's just taken a long time for the rest of the world to...
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with maybe just the price action of the coin itself. Maybe people aren't drawn to it because of that. One of the issues that Digibyte does run into is that a lot of people, they mine Digibyte, they belong to these mining groups, these mining pools, and they're mining Digibyte and not even realizing it because they get paid out in Bitcoin. So they mine the Digibyte for the person, and so they instantly just trade the Digibyte and then for Bitcoin to pay the person that's doing the mining. So maybe that's one reason. I'm not sure. I mean, and that's one of the reasons why I do what I do, because I agree, it is superior in many ways, and it deserves to be recognized for that. But like I said, there's no company behind it. There's no marketing department. There's no marketing budget. All those 80 exchanges that I mentioned, we didn't pay any listing fees. They were just either just listed, or we were able to negotiate. Just tell them, hey, look. Explain to them that we're not a company, we don't have a budget to pay you, but this is a popular coin that people want and are willing to trade for it. So they get their compensation through just the trading fees that way. But I don't know. It can be frustrating because like I said, it is and technically a lot better than, in my opinion, at least, everything else out there, and that's one of the reasons why I got behind it, because I've been in crypto for about 1.5 years, and like I said, I was just, got tired of chasing trades and, looking for that next hot ICO. And one common theme that I kept hearing through people who had been in the space for a while was just to find, working products, working projects that have a use case or have a real problem to solve. And I just, kept thinking about Digibyte. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with this coin, even though the price action, from the moment I first bought it, it just kind of, kept going down. This was, I don't know, last spring and up until at least, in November, December, Yeah, we kind of went back. So yeah, it's kind of gone full circle. Hopefully things will turn back around, not just for Digibyte, but all crypto. So, this time a year ago, it was a fun time. That was when one spicy punch bowl was getting passed around. So, but and I'm confident that eventually it will, and I'm confident eventually, people will continue to take notice to Digibyte as just the general population, because right now, I mean, what 1% of the world is aware of what Bitcoin is, or even own any of it, So I think as people begin to adopt cryptos in general, they'll look to Digibyte and they'll understand, well, this is a legitimate project, it's a legitimate blockchain. It can do a lot of things, and right now it's under 2 cents. So I think it's very, very attractive. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you. Yes, sir.
So what do you think some of the lowest hanging fruits are to encourage mass adoption? I mean, it seems like there's kind of a marketing issue, not many people know about it, and I see you guys have a lot of products, so
yeah, so
it could be spreading yourself a little too thin, trying to attack too many markets. What is the lowest hanging fruit?
Right now, the Digibyte leadership has been focused on cybersecurity because they know that is something that is, for one, it's desperately needed, and they know that blockchain can effectively, eliminate 95% of the vulnerability of the internet as it's built today. As far as reaching out to other markets, again, this is why I do what I do, because it gives me an opportunity to meet with people and explain to them why it's needed and why it's better than not just other coins or other blockchains, but just the old system in general. I think your everyday people who they're just concerned about their everyday lives. Maybe they're just not fully aware of what's really going on. They don't understand what money is, because we're not taught what money is, right? It's something that when I was growing up, yeah, they taught you how to balance a checkbook, but they don't really get into the details of, it's a medium of exchange, it's fungibility, it's store of value. And right now, the dollar is not a store of value, obviously. It's backed by nothing. And as you saw in the slides, just over the years, the values continue to decline. So I think that, from a marketing point of view, we just have to keep pressing forward.
So education.
Yeah, a lot of education, really. A lot of, I think for a lot of people, and for myself included, before I got into crypto, it's just something I just couldn't wrap my head around, right? And we all look back and say, hey, wouldn't it have been great to buy Bitcoin in 2010? Well, the truth is, at least for me, I probably wouldn't have been able to figure out how to do it, just because you had to be really knowledgeable of how to get under the hood, right? And I'm more of an applications guy. I can work with that. And I think that's where a lot of the improvements have come in the last couple of years, and especially this year, where Digibyte released our mobile wallets, and they're really simple and easy to use. And I think that's where a lot of the mass adoption will occur, where it needs to be as simple as just pressing a little heart like you do on a Twitter post or something. Just to where you can just go in, open an app, a few clicks, and you're good to go. Oh, okay. All right. Go ahead.
I was just wondering how the blocks are structured and block size. What makes your how does it work under the hood in terms of scalability? Because you said you don't need lightning.
Right.
And you're doubling scalability every year or something.
Yeah, every 2 years it will double in scale. Be able to.
Yeah. So how does that work?
That is a great question. And I would love to answer it. Unfortunately, it would require me to have a level 12 super nerd status, and I'm only like a -4 junior nerd. But I would love to find out the answer to that question and maybe get your contact info and follow up with you and get that information to you, because I should know that. And I'm sure there's a good answer for that, and I just don't have that right at this moment. So, sorry. Okay, go ahead.
How will the value increase when everybody can use the technology, for free? They can gain access to it and build on it and what have you. How will that increase the value of Digibyte?
Well, because of the, when you mine the coin, it's a proof of work, right? So it's just like Bitcoin or Litecoin. It's a 100% proof of work. There has been some discussion about adding a staking algorithm, because right now it's 5 mining algorithms. They might take one out and add a staking algorithm. It's still kind of in the works. But yeah, as far as the increasing of the value of the coin, it's just adoption and people using it, I think, and people exchanging their fiat because they realize, hey, this is garbage. I don't want to be paid in garbage. I want to get paid in something that is actually worth something.
There's mass adoption.
Yes. Yeah.
Go Digibyte.
Go Digibyte. Yes, sir. All right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I see here, I'm looking at Digibyte's Blockchain Explorer. 22% of all coins are in one wallet, which is Bittrex, which is an exchange.
Yes.
Do you have any idea why they choose Bittrex as their exchange? I mean, like, there's a couple of them on here. Pollination is the second one, and third, and eighth largest wallet. But 22% of coins in one wallet. I know it's an exchange, so it's still can be considered decentralized. But do you have any idea why they're using Bittrex as like the main exchange compared to like all the other exchanges that listed?
Well, funny you should mention that because there has been a lot of issues with the exchanges lately because the one exchange that Digibyte is not on is Binance, which is the largest exchange by volume. And apparently what happened is that, again, like I mentioned, okay, we've never paid any listing fees because we don't have a budget for it. We're just, a decentralized blockchain. And Binance wanted us to pay fees, apparently, and they kind of wanted to do some backdoor dealings. Again, I wasn't involved with that, so I don't really speak to it too much. Basically, we're not on Binance. But personally, it doesn't bother me because even though I have a Binance account, I have been able to accumulate majority of my Digibyte through other means, such as, I use Bittrex and also through Shapeshift, through my Exodus wallet and a couple other exchanges. So, I mean, that's the only reason I can guess is that because Bittrex is the, one of the biggest next to Binance that, a lot of people use it in order to trade and exchange for Digibyte. But that's another good question. That's something I'm going to ask around and see. Maybe there's a more correct answer than the one I just gave you. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all. Oh,
I've
what?
got more questions.
Okay. Well, hey, shoot.
So something that I've noticed in terms of mass adoption, you can see this with Tron and their acquisition of, what was it, BitTorrent?
Yeah.
A lot of these projects that are receiving adoption, and I'm not going to say mass adoption quite yet, they're partnering with other companies. They're either allocating their software or whatever. I see that as one of the lowest hanging fruits for Digibyte. Is there any sort of target market that you would be addressing? So you said cybersecurity, but
yes.
Would that look like a partnership with LifeLock? Would that look like?
Well, that would be great.
Yeah.
Do you know anyone at LifeLock?
There's a lot of other services out
right.
there. I mean,
True. Yes.
Yeah.
So one thing that they have been focusing on most lately is with real estate. They have this new system coming out called Vesti. It's still kind of in the works, so I don't have a whole lot of information on it. But I think the plan is to basically just put real estate on the blockchain. So right now, if you go out and buy a house, it's there's so much paperwork involved, so many people, and you've got to deal with escrow, and it's just a real pain in the ass. So I think the goal with Vesti is to simplify that using blockchain, and I think they are partnering with some people within the real estate space. But again, it's really new, and I don't have a lot of information on that at this moment.
So who are the decision makers? Who would decide that? If it's a decentralized company.
Well, it's whoever can get it done, really. I was kind of half joking about whether you know someone at LifeLock, but seriously though, if you know people out there who think they could benefit from a blockchain like Digibyte, then there's nothing preventing you from contacting them and say, hey, you guys should check this out and take a look at this. So as far as partnerships go, yes, and that is something that the Digibyte awareness team is doing. They have reached out to a lot of firms. A big one that they landed over the summer was with they're a processing firm in Europe called Utrust. So now you can essentially use your Digibyte the same as you would a credit card in that respect. So they are trying to foster partnerships, and like I said, it can be challenging because it's decentralized and there is no central authority, which that's the other side of the sword, because decentralized blockchain, with no one in charge, you don't have that someone steering the ship who can.
There's other coins, there's other foundations and whatnot out there that steer the ship for other coins.
Yeah, well, yeah, and we do have a Digibyte Foundation, and, you know, I've been in some contact with them in terms of, in fact, they're the ones that, you know, put me in touch with you guys. Because they're like, oh, hey, you're in Southern California, you're in Los Angeles, let's make this happen. I was like, sure, yeah, let's do it. So, but as far as, you know, the leadership of the foundation, I don't know what is on their radar or what kind of other partnerships that they're trying to foster. I know that they are, because they're a great group of guys and they're working very diligently. Again, they're volunteers just like all of us. So, you know, I'm sure they're doing all they can to create those partnerships. But, yeah, if you can think of anyone that can, yeah, awesome. Yeah, let's make it happen.
Point about that. Like, I mean, in terms of, you know, like there's a lot of partnerships, a lot of altcoins like, you know, Stellar, you know, talking up their partnerships with IBM or,
Right.
you know, XRP wants to replace the SWIFT international transfer system.
Mm-hmm.
And that's great, but where I come from, where I stand on in regards to that, is, you know, it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to have these new ideas, these new architectures of technology, these like Bitcoin, take Bitcoin for example, which was introduced as a peer-to-peer technology, and then you have, you know, large financial institutions trying to financialize it and make these, you know, securitized products out of what was, you know, starts as a peer-to-peer technology. So one thing, you know, I maybe discovered Digibyte, I think it was over the summer. And, you know, one thing, I got in touch with someone from the Digibyte awareness team.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, just the grassroots element of the entire cryptocurrency movement, I mean, is really sort of exemplified here, you know, with this blockchain. Because, I mean, you know, it's people, it's like, you know, if you're not fortunate enough to be Charlie Lee, who, you know, is it's gonna be a while before he shakes the stench of selling his coins at the pinnacle of the bull run that we experienced. But if you're not plugged in and you know you're not on Coinbase, you know you're not out there like that, it really just takes, you know, a lot of legwork and elbow grease. So, you know, I reached out. You know, I run a cryptocurrency meetup in Studio City.
Oh, wow, cool.
You know, I've given presentations, you know, to traders about trading cryptocurrencies, and I mean, I don't receive any remuneration of that, like from, you know, the groups that I speak to or for running the meetup. But that's what it takes to really build the awareness and the adoption. And, you know, I want to come out and like support a presentation like this. And,
yeah,
you know,
thank you for that.
also, and contribute like my, you know, experience to it. You know, and I went to SC and I want you guys to be able to get involved with it. You know.
Do you think those grassroots meetups are scalable? You know, like, do you think that would really drive mass adoption?
It's hard to say. I mean, you know, I feel a book that, before I forget, a book that I recommend everybody read in this room is Life After Google by George Gilder. It talks about how, you know, blockchain technology is going to impact how the new architecture of the internet will, you know, implement blockchain. It's in terms of how if, you know, meetups can drive mass adoption. You know, a lot of it, you know, for better or for worse, depends on market activity. You know, the reason why a lot of people were drawn into Bitcoin in the first place because, you know, it went parabolic and, you know, people wanted to get rich. But, you know, with all the headlines that were in the presentation about the target having Equifax losing the data of half the country, you know, half the country just out there. Like, you know, I still get calls from Verizon. Did you open an account in Chicago? Like, like no. You know,
wow.
That's like $10, by the way. Your social security number is like $10 on the dark web.
Yeah. So, like, we should, I think more and more people should be in a panicked frenzy about data protection and making that, you know, of paramount importance. I mean, you know, I understand the utility, you know, the network effects and the utility of Facebook is hard to overcome when everybody's on it. But I'm like, guys, like, what are we doing still posting here? Like, you know, I mean, I'm a few years. I don't know if that even makes a difference now because, you know, it's been around long enough that the whole planet is on it.
It's being weaponized.
But yeah, it's being weaponized. I mean, there's so much to it. Like, people just, you know, people should just be taking more initiative to really understand like how this all works. I mean, it's all very complicated. I mean, the whole like the business model of having your data sold to third parties. I mean, a lot of people don't have time for understanding that, but I mean, yeah, you have to, you in a lot of cases, like the people in this room, like you have to be that person who, is the messenger to get people to get involved and wake themselves up. I mean, hopefully we'll get another big bull run, and more people will be interested in more than just price action. But it kind of works like a two-way street. You have to make the commitment to get involved and educate yourself, and then hopefully the good benefits, including good financial benefits, will follow.
Yeah, I think a lot of it too will stem from other nations that are experiencing situations such as Venezuela. Because it's not just happening in Venezuela. Also, Iran, they got sanctions thrown back on them. They're going through a lot of issues. Turkey, they were experiencing a lot of hyperinflation as well with their local currency. So Digibyte is actually very popular in Turkey right now. So I think we do all we can to educate sometimes, people, that old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but, they're the ones that have to decide to drink. And sometimes with some people, it might take, our whole financial system to hit rock bottom to say, oh my God, I just lost my whole life savings. My whole life's work is just, it's gone. Now what? And now they'll open their eyes to other alternatives such as cryptocurrencies.
But I also think like your role in media, you have a pretty large part to play in this because you have to tell this, like not you exactly, but like the story needs to be told.
Yes,
and people need to know about that.
Yeah,
and so like in all of this.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I decided to get involved, because I do have that background with TV production and making videos, and I'm like, well, hey, let me see what I can do here. My only regret is that I haven't really made more videos. I made a couple of high concept videos and a few other small videos, and I want to make more videos. I've had this presentation and one a couple of weeks ago, so I've been more focused on that. So hoping in the next couple of weeks I can wrangle some friends and grab the camera and put together some more content that is, in marketing we use this term called easily digestible, which is just code for explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old. Yeah. Which is great. I love having things explained to me like I'm a 5-year-old, because being 5, it was great. You're in kindergarten, you just draw all day, and you play with Play-Doh. It's awesome. Life was simple. But with something as complicated as a blockchain, it is important to present it in a way that people can kind of understand. And that's why I wanted to go the direction with the movie trailer, because I know that that's something that speaks to people. Because if you go on YouTube and you Google Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, 98% of the videos you get are going to be just two guys having a Skype interview or an hour-long thing like this, or it's not easily digestible. But like a movie trailer, well, that kind of grabs you, right? Because it kind of eases in with music, and then it gets really just sucks you in, and it's gripping and powerful, and kind of reaches inside you and tugs on your heart a little bit, right? And it gets your attention that way. So I've also got some ideas to do. My next video that I want to do is kind of a marketing experiment, really. I'm going to call cross-branding Pollination, where I want to take this brand Digibyte and then connect it with an established brand, and then that way we can basically, so if people are searching that other brand, then Digibyte comes up and they're like, oh, well, what is this all about? And the other brand I'm going to attach to is Metallica. And you think, well, how do you connect blockchain with Metallica? Well, it's silly and simple at the same time. All I'm going to do is do a speed test with the wallet and see how many transactions I can complete within the intro to the Metallica song. So, I just get in there and I talk a little bit about Metallica. So Metallica fans who are on YouTube searching for Metallica content, they come across it, they're like, oh, well, what is this? This is something completely different, but this guy's talking about Metallica, but now he's also introducing me to this cryptocurrency. So that's one thing that, we're working on to try and, speak and educate to, a larger audience. All right, any other questions? Anyone else? All right, guys, thank you so much. You guys have been great. Thank you for coming out tonight. You guys are awesome. You keep being awesome. Thank you.